Welcome. Sit down, roll up, pour up, turn up and tune in. Because you're now watching the Buncher Bull Network.
Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another week of The World We Know. I'm your host, Greg Lamont. Make sure y'all sit back, spark up, sip, and get ready for a good-ass talk. We're about to get into it. We had a pretty eventful week this week, I'd say. A lot more going on than last week, but yeah, it's a lot of good shit to get into today. But let's start with, I like to start with usually him whenever he's a topic, just to get it out the way. Let's start with Jake Paul's new fight that just got fucking announced. Jake Paul. No. Gervonta Davis is suing Jake Paul? What the fuck? For what?
I think he's suing him for missed wages. Let me check it again.
Well, hey, you want to go fucking put your hands on women? Fuck you. I'm not paying you. What you talking about? Like, after lawsuit, it says civil lawsuit was filed. Oh,
No, yeah, but that's not the one I'm talking about.
okay.
Yeah, here. Fighters headquarters.
So Tank had a law.
Action against Jake Paul following the cancellation.
Right. Okay. So Tank got sued. He didn't even get. It's saying that the lady sued Tank. I thought that he was actually going to fucking like court for it. Okay. But what I heard would happen with the whole Gervonta Davis thing is that he went to a fucking club at like 12 in the fucking morning and beat up one of the bartenders, which was a girl. And are you sure that that's not? Oh, it says.
Lawsuit was filed by Courtney Russell, who alleges that Davis physically assaulted and threatened her on multiple occasions, and is now suffering.
You see,
post-traumatic stress.
that is so sketchy to me though, because it's like, if it's saying it's the ex-girlfriend who's the same person who he's had the last incidents with, which is horrible. Like, you should not be. If it's true that he's just putting his hands on her, that's horrible. But it's really sketchy to me that now she decides to sue him during the like a month before his fucking fight with Jake. That doesn't make any fucking sense. I feel like the lawsuit was kind of like a chess thing where that they just got out of the fight and maybe Jake was really planning on fighting Anthony Joshua. But yeah, I don't know. I wish Tank the best. I hope he gets his fucking shit together. Because at this point, it's like whenever it's somebody's like one of their favorite celebrities or like a really big person, it happens once or twice. You try to be like, okay, maybe it was something. But this nigga has been going through this shit. Like, this is probably his sixth time with this woman.
Well, it says that this one happened 2 months after Davis had a domestic violence case that was dropped by
A different.
ex-girlfriend.
What?
So it was 2 different girlfriends, and the previous ex-girlfriend was the mother of 2 of his 3 kids.
Damn. So this ain't even the same girlfriend. Yeah.
Putting disputes on it.
Yeah, nah. That especially whenever it's multiple of the closest women, like it's not just random women. To me, I don't know. That's a bit fucking sus. He's in some shit, but yeah, that's the reason why we don't have the Jake Paul versus Tank fight anymore. But our new fight that we do have coming is the Jake Paul versus Anthony fucking Joshua. This fight should be good. I'm actually looking forward to this fight a lot more than the Tank fight. I think it's going to be way less competitive than the fucking Tank Jake fight. Like I think the Tank Jake fight would have actually been a bit competitive. Although yes, Tank is a professional boxer, champion boxer, whatever. Like he's almost half of his size. I think it would have at least somewhat leveled it out. Tank would still have the edge, but less so. But with Anthony Joshua, we're talking about a motherfucker who's 6'6", 260 pounds. A motherfucker whose knockout rate is 90% of his fucking wins are knockouts. A motherfucker who just knocked Francis Ngannou out cold, sleep in 2 rounds. We're saying, and a man who's still in his boxing prime in a way. We're saying that Jake Paul is going to put up a fight with this. Everybody right off the bat is going to call bullshit. But you got to respect Jake because the thing is, if it's true that there's no, like, which the rules usually get announced beforehand, but if it's true that there's no stipulations or like a no knockout rule or anything like that, then, or if it's just a professionally sound fight, then I'm pretty fucking sure Jake's getting knocked the fuck out. If Jake goes a distance with Anthony Joshua, you can't convince me. You just can't convince me. Like, I think this is the first fight where that Jake...
So far, every one of his fights have been a paid shit show.
Yeah.
So many of them, but like Tyson, come on.
Yeah, Tyson could have beat him.
Like even prior to that, like the one that really got me, the one that really like pissed me off was Anderson Silva.
I couldn't even watch that.
Bro, like in the fight you seen where he dropped him, bro, had to hold him up.
Yeah, I believe all of his... Is there a water in there by chance? But I think that every fight he's had...
Staged.
Thank you. With the UFC fighter and a...
It's staged. And by 80%
The,
of it staged, I mean the hits are real, but the UFC fighter is backing off a
Yeah.
hell of a lot, and they already know in the end of it, I'm not winning this.
Right. Yeah. I believe all of those UFC fighters took the check. I believe Nate Robinson took the check. I believe Tyson took the fucking check. The only fight I could think of his that doesn't really get talked about much, that was a realistic fight, was his fight with I'd say just his fight with Tommy Fury. The one that he lost, but like, I think the only reason he did that is because Tommy Fury was closer to an amateur boxer. But I just don't see how, like, at the end of the day, boxing, if you fight a boxer in a boxing match, is a dangerous sport to just play around in, right? Like he could talk all the shit he wants. He could like, maybe if he thinks he'll rig it or whatever, but if you get in there with a prime boxer who, like, doesn't like you the same way that most other people don't like you or something like that, then I think he'll have a fucking...
The only reason I think he ever thought he could get in the ring like that, and it still gives him a good chance of being in the ring, is that he's got a big fucking frame. So body shots, while they still do affect him, are not, you know what I mean? Like, it takes 50% more body shots.
Right, yeah.
Someone like him or Tyson's size to put him down with body shots.
Yeah.
Unless they're fighting someone their size, which he usually is not.
Right.
Now, taking a step further, if you have that big of a frame, the only thing you have to do at that point in the fight, for the most part, is defend your face. Like, you could do minor defending on the body, but you don't have to worry about it that much. That's the only reason he gets a good opportunity against some of these people, because he'll fight someone that's half his size.
Right, so they can't affect his frame that much. Yeah.
Yeah, fight someone half his size and his face the whole time. Who cares?
And most of the people he fights are over 45, over like, some of them are over 50, so it's like...
If I went and fought two 15-year-olds right now, as long as I block my face, bro, you're not going to do too much to me. Like,
Right.
Kick me in the nuts, you know?
Fact,
like,
yeah.
You only have so many options.
In boxing,
You're
yeah.
not about to just
Facts.
pick me up and slam me or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, nah, facts. I think I will say, like, I'm not a fan of Jake. I'm not somebody who really ever, like, I've never been supportive of Jake. I've usually been on the other side of him. But I will say he's a brilliant fucking marketer.
He's always found ways to make the odds go in his favor.
Yeah, he's a brilliant marketer. And I think at this point, I mean, he's been training for about 6 to 7 years. I think now he could start fighting like the small. Like if Jake wanted to take boxing,
See him really get in like PBR, go for like actual.
yeah, I'm saying fight no names who are like the same way that all the great boxers started by fighting like people at their level, start doing that. But I think the way that he did it, which is it's never been done, he made his own way. Is like he fought these fucking big names to get money, but they're old and they're not really much of a fight.
Never, ever, ever gonna touch a WBC belt.
Right? You don't think?
Like, how would he? He'd have to go like he'd have to actually go in, no knockout clause.
Right.
No, that you know what I mean. He don't get his. He's not going to because we'll never see him even attempt that because he won't be able to get his way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For him
Well,
to go fight for the title,
I think
really go fight for it.
I think the thing about him too, I think he's at the point of his boxing journey where that his next fight, at the very most, his next two fights are going to decide like where he goes from then. Like I think if he does two more fake ass, like obviously fake ass fights, then people are just going to stop watching as much.
This guy said Hitman Eminem versus Slim Shady game for PS5.
I wasn't paid to say this. I wasn't paid to say this. Okay, yeah. Right. Uh but no, I think that Jake needs a serious fight. My perspective is that if he gets a serious fight in and he gets a fight where you're like, damn, like if he either gets knocked out or like knocked down, gets back up and like it's a real fucking fight, then people will respect him where that his viewership will go up. But if he does two or three more fucking, I'm obviously laughing in you guys' face, taking your fucking time and your money away, then like people are gonna look at him as like a WWE where that like it's
Say, you know what I really think he did though is I think he pulled the wool over everyone's eyes. Was he did that wrestling shit and seeing how much money there is in like the smoke and mirrors. You know what I mean? Look over here. Meanwhile, I'm whispering in his ear that I'm about to do this move to him.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He like realized, holy shit, these motherfuckers. Everything that we've done tonight has been staged and
Right.
planned and choreographed.
And millions.
And we still have people out there in the stages that love it.
Right.
And I think he just took that and brought it to the boxing world.
I think you're so right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because they don't think he's doing the same thing. Well, I mean, they do
Right.
now.
Yeah.
Initially, they didn't. Why would you think that he's gonna WWE boxing?
Right. Well, and it would make sense to say that he would go the WWE route with things because like his brother is.
He got to see how
Well, yeah, his brother is a WWE wrestler right now, so he understands like
talk to the people that actually put it all together and pick their brain and be like, hey, is there some way that we could
do this with boxing?
Yeah, like is there another lane that I could take this same formula and make it work?
Right.
Like we have no idea. He could have low key ended up doing this with football.
But I think the crazy thing and like the beautiful thing about that to me is like you fast forward 50 years from now or maybe 25 years from now, the same way that we look at like the 80s or 90s, he'll be looked at as a genius for this shit, like because as a businessman and as a lane, like finding that lucrative pocket to do that shit and really pull it off, like, and his marketing's based off of hatred, like he wants you to hate him. He's the problem child. Yeah, he loves it, and
because he knows that like he knows every hero needs a villain, and he's fine with making his money off being the villain.
Right. Cause I think because he's already made the fuck you money so young that he's just been like, fuck you, I'm gonna make more. But yeah, that's Jake Paul. That's what he got going on right now. Another big fight in boxing that just happened 2 Saturdays ago, I believe it was. Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank. Actually, it might have been last Saturday. No, it was last Saturday. Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank, the rematch. I believe this fight they fought at, let me make sure if it was 168 or 160. But in their first fight, Chris Eubank Jr. beat Conor Benn by a TKO technical knockout. Let me see. What weight class was the Conor Benn Chris Eubank Jr. rematch? Let me see. I'll finish my point after this shows up. All right, so no, they just fought at 160. Uh, so all right, so Chris Eubank Jr. is a middleweight fighter, super middleweight, 168, and Conor Benn is a welterweight boxer. He's a 147 weight boxer, and he made his way up to 147. That's where he's at now. But the reason that these two fighters fought is because their dad's legacy. So their fathers fought in the 80s or somewhere around that era of boxing, and they had a fight with the rematch. And Chris Eubank Sr., who's like, so both fighters, Conor Benn Jr. or Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. are British or from England or Europe, or they're from Europe, and their dads are also from Europe. And Chris Eubank Sr. beat Conor Benn's father. I forget his name, but I think it's like Nigel Benn or something like that. But he beat him twice. It was a close fight, a very close fight, and their fight is like a Hall of Fame level fight because it's just brutal from start to end. Like, there's no holding back punches. It's not no Floyd Mayweather bullshit. It's just throwing. Their sons are very similar, but their sons are in two different weight classes. But their sons decided earlier this year to fight at, I believe they fought at 154, or no, they didn't fight 154. I believe they fought at like 160. It may have been 160 or something like that. But they found a weight they fought at. Conor Benn went up, and I think every one of you should watch it because it's an exciting fight. Like, these two fighters throw, but Conor Benn reminds me a lot of Tyson with his attitude and the way he boxes. But he lost the first fight because he got gassed because he was emotional. They were both emotional, but he was too emotional with it. And I say all this to say, in the rematch last Saturday, Conor Benn knocked out Chris Eubank Jr. The ref just stopped it before it was at the point of done. But the crazy thing is he didn't even do it until the 12th round. Like, it was a fight where they were throwing up until the 12th round. In this fight, Conor Benn decided to bulk up more because the first fight he only came in at like 157 or like 156. He put on an extra 7 pounds and came in about 163, 164, and did his thing, made it shake, made it rock. And yeah, they pretty much agreed that, I mean, Chris Eubank hasn't said it yet because he was pretty like fucked up after the fight with his state of mind and shit, but they shouldn't do a trilogy. Conor Benn got his dad's get back. They both want to fight. They're gonna leave it there, and Conor Benn's gonna come back down, fight Ryan Garcia and these fighters, and Chris Eubank will do whatever he decides to do. But that's the latest in the boxing world. That's the latest fight. Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank. It was a pretty good fucking fight. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all should tune in. Tune the fuck in, and make sure y'all tune in every single Friday at 2 p.m. You could catch The World We Know at 2:30. Every single Friday at 6 p.m. Stash Spots. And every single Saturday at 8 p.m. Marley State of Mind. Be there. The Bunchable platform. You can catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, Kick, wherever. Catch us there. Be there every week. But yeah, tune the fuck into that shit. Let's talk about this young boy response. So I don't know if any of y'all have seen. I mean, it's kind of going viral. He dropped it on his second page on YouTube. It's at like 3 million views. Young boy just responded to NLE, kind of responded without responding. And in my opinion, the song was Buns, but the song is it's a little catchy, but he doesn't really say much. The song is Buns. the only response that's really in it that makes you click the video is he says that he's not responding, and pretty much, I mean he said that he responded to apparently like 3 people on it, KD and 2 other people, but I don't know. Young Boy's response. I need to know what y'all know. Let me know in the comments whenever you see this video. Young Boy's response. What was it called again? Is it called I'm Him or something like that? It's called No IQ. No IQ. I don't know. I'm hoping that for entertainment's sake, I just hope that NLE would, drop something else and get us something else going, because the last shit we had was a Kendrick Drake, and that shit was all commercial, dragged out, just poop. And hip hop hasn't been in the top 40 for a couple weeks now. So I don't know. We need something to spark it up. But that's my opinion on that. I'm definitely going to play it at the end, as well as a new JID song, which I really fuck with. But I also want to throw out there, I don't know if y'all seen, I think it's kind of crazy, kind of bipolar of him. But Ye just apologized to a rabbi for whatever reason. I don't know the name of a rabbi. It was an older gentleman. He was holding Ye's hand, and Ye was just like saying, I'm sorry that like I have these episodes where I say shit and blah blah blah, this and that. And was just asking for the rabbi's forgiveness. And this same rabbi recently as well, Young Thug went and spoke to and was just asking for help and forgiveness with. I don't know. I just want to see where it unfolds and who this dude is, and like why are you going to this guy apologizing? Why aren't you like apologizing in prayer or something like that? I don't know. Kind of crazy to me, but Ye and Thug just apologized to the same rabbi, same building, same location, and nothing was really said about it, reported about it, like spoke. It was just video out there, so I don't know. Thoughts. Lots of shady, sketchy, questionable shit. And speaking of shady and questionable shit, these motherfucking Epstein files is shady and questionable as it can get. So let me get it clear. So you're telling me that this is a hoax. It's not real. It doesn't exist. Why are we talking about it? And all of a sudden there's an Epstein Transparency Act where that you're going to release it and it's all going to come out. It's confusing me because this is like Donnie T. This is a guy I voted for. I support him for sure. I think he's still having one of the best presidencies ever. But as far as the Epstein issue, it's really weird how before you were president, you were saying, yeah, I'll release it. Like there's some bad stuff in there that I believe that people should know. And as well as your FBI director, Kash Patel, was saying, like, there's people in politics who have done some shady things and have met with Epstein and done this and that, blah, 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 before he was even in his position, as well as his deputy director, Dan Bongino, saying something along the same sentiment on his fucking podcast show. I think it's sketchy. I think it's shady. I think that it's a win, no matter how sketchy and shady I think it is. It's a win that they're passing this act at least, because this will get us somewhere, and we will get. They have 30 days to release it by law now. Now that the bill is signed, they have to release in 30 days. All that they have, but apparently there's something in the bill where it says things will be redacted for national security concerns and purposes, which I don't know, like, why they would do that. That's like, what's a national security concern about Epstein? You feel me? But yeah, we're gonna see about these Epstein files. Will they get released in full? Will we get like a couple little pieces or something? Will we get a full fucking something that fills everybody's appetite on this question, that question? Because here's the thing. They say conspiracy, conspiracy, it's all conspiracy. But it's only conspiracy if there's no answers. You feel me? That's the only reason it's conspiracy is if the source isn't just putting it out there. 'Cause conspiracy happens when transparency isn't present. Conspiracy happens whenever transparency isn't present. So, like, of course, you don't tell us what the fuck happened with this motherfucker who, before he died, was prosecuted for this thing that we're asking. Okay, so who'd he sell to? Who'd he blackmail? Like, what was this and that? He was prosecuted in the courts for this, as well as his wife, who's still behind bars. So you're telling us that it's a hoax, but she's behind bars for what? So she never was sex trafficking, which is her charge. It's just, I owe him a lighter. It's just some fucking shady shit. I don't know. I cannot fuck with it. I cannot fuck with it at all. And I do believe that my nigga Donnie T is getting blackmailed. Yeah. I believe Donnie T's out here getting blackmailed. And the thing about it is, I don't think that I don't think there's much you can blackmail him with. Like, I think if there's any president in the history of the United States of America who is prepared to withstand political, a media, and just influential attack on them, it's him, because he's been surviving it for over a fucking decade with this and that. Oh, he's this. Oh, he's that. This and that. Blah, blah, blah. And then you look into it and it's all cap. So I believe that that's why the same thing you did with the motherfucking JFK files is what you need to do with these Epstein files. The same thing you did with the MLK and the JFK files, where you didn't redact that group, where you didn't redact certain things, where you just kept it all in there, and you kept everything in there. I don't care what it is, who it is, how it is, whatever it is. Fuck the national security concern unless it's truly something that would drop a nuke. Other than that, you should drop the nuke. And that's my opinion. But, yeah, I believe my dog is getting blackmailed like a motherfucker right now. But on another note, 3IA Atlas, or IA Atlas, whatever the fuck it's called, NASA finally released some photos of it, or released a photo of it. And this thing has been known to be in our solar system for some months now. We've known about it for some months now that IA Atlas was floating through, and it had some abnormalities about it because, one, its tail was in front of it. Two, it changes trajectory. Three, it's fucking, it changes speed. Its tail faces where it's going. Most comets' tails are behind them and it follows them. But this one tail is chasing where it's going. And it's just weird because it was predicted to be coming around here early this month. I believe they said November 2nd, but now it's re-predicted to be coming like late December. And yeah, it's just a weird thing. It's a really, really fucking weird thing. But here we are, 3IA Atlas. Now, what I was getting into, I lost my train of thought, was NASA just released a photo of 3IA Atlas. So 3IA Atlas, if y'all look up NASA, 3IA Atlas, it shows a blue fucking pixel pretty much. And they're saying this is what we got of it. Now, keep in mind, NASA last year alone just got $25.4 billion of taxpayer money to fund their projects and shit. You're telling me, and they've been getting billions and billions forever. So you're telling me that you're like the biggest name in space, okay? And you're telling me that you can't fucking get a good picture of this first ever, we got an alien fucking thing going on. I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. I believe they got some great fucking photos of it that they're not releasing until we boycott them. But if you look up, there's somebody named Ray Ray who released a photo as well from a telescope of it. And I'm sure you could find 100 other telescope photos, or just hopefully find a local place near you where you can go and see if you could look at shit like that. I'd love to do that too, and I'd fucking give you guys information on where to go do that. But hell yeah, I think we need to keep track of that, because if we just ignore it, come and go, then okay, and 10, 15 years from now, you'll never have the chance to look into what that shit was. And if they hid it from you, they hid it from you, and you're fucked. That just is what it is. But yeah. My next question to you is writing dead? And hip hop, is writing dead? Hold on. Okay. Is writing dead? So I was watching a video yesterday, and it was speaking about writing and hip hop and music in general, and the creative process no longer really. Not too often do people sit down and write and then go to the studio and just spit it out. That's not how it happens that much anymore. That used to be the way that it had to happen, was you had a pen and pad, they had tape, you did it, and then they just pieced it all together, and boom, you had to have your shit ready, your flow ready, your fucking pretty choreograph your fucking flow. That's pretty much what you had to do back then. But now the way that people do it, if you're not an artist, the way that people do it is they just take it, a beat being it, and they put it on, and they don't have any lyrics. Lots of time they don't have any concept of what they're going to make the song about, but they sit down with their beat, and they just, okay, I'm feeling in that. That. They find a melody, they find a lyric, they say, okay, boom, I want that lyric. Now cut out all that bullshit. Okay, boom. Now, okay, they might listen back to it, but okay, I could do this shit better. Redo it. And then have the lyric. Now they just add it on top of that. Wherever that one left off is where you continue, and you just build. You build it a thought at a time. You don't sit down and make a full thought. And I think that as far as music goes, that's great. Like for the creative process, like making music is a lot easier because of that. But does it make music better? Yeah, I think so. I think it makes music better simply because now the artist can not have to sit down and focus on one fucking issue for so long. Like, issue being like, okay, I got to get this fucking verse one down perfect and sit down on it for hours, day maybe days. Instead, they can be like, okay, let me get a sentence at a time. Boom, done. Next song. Like, that's all you got to do. Now, as far as composing like your chorus and this or that, that's just all engineering. And that's simple. And that's a whole different topic. But is writing dead? I think writing isn't dead, but I think writing is now your beat and your speaking and listening to it. Like, you don't have to write it. You just speak it and listen and edit it. That's the way to go. But yeah, my last question for y'all is, who is the pinnacle? I have 3 different questions. My first one, it's a question for myself too. Who is the pinnacle of entertainment industry, financial industry, and entrepreneurship? Now, if I got to start with financial industry, most people I believe would say Warren Buffett, right? I think most people would say Warren Buffett is the GOAT of the financial industry. And do I agree? I feel like Warren Buffett always has to be your number one investor, like top investor. But I'm trying to think, is Warren Buffett the number one? I guess you'd kind of have to give it to Warren Buffett because his fucking portfolio is damn near $1 trillion, and I mean it's at least half $1 trillion. What's called Berkshire Hathaway, and he started with very fucking little. But I'm trying to think of, there's this ETF. It's like a fund, uh, similar to Berkshire Hathaway, that's had the fucking most insane returns ever. It like way outdoes the competition as far as long term and a good bit of short term, being over a year is short term uh, returns. I wish I could remember it, but I'll probably have that for y'all next week. But yeah, yeah, I'd probably say Warren Buffett has to be financial industry. For entrepreneurship, I think most people would say Steve Jobs, but Steve Jobs is without a doubt my number two greatest entrepreneur of all time because the Macintosh, the iPhone, he made Pixar. Yes, he made the Pixar that you watch cartoons from. He made iPods. He created streaming. Like he made it where you could listen to music on a fucking little device and not a CD. Like MP3 is what it was. Uh, and he did a couple other things, but Steve Jobs was truly a savant. But my number one entrepreneur of all time is Elon Musk, simply because like he's just on a different level. Like if you ever look into what he's really done, the man's insane. His first thing he ever like created as a business, boy or man, was 12-year old. He went to an arcade and was like, "Hey, I can make a better video game." He made it. Him and his brother went and pitched it to him, and they bought it off of him for like a couple thousand. And it was like he just kept being a fucking businessman because of that, and he kept growing. Like in college, Elon Musk fucking took his dorm room and would rent it out to people and then would sell them alcohol. Like he was just that type of motherfucker, but he was also a motherfucker who never like, I need all this, I need all this, I need all. No, this motherfucker lived in a studio apartment with his fucking girl for a little bit until she left, and he just coded. He just locked in. As a kid growing up, all he did was fucking read books. He was a geek to the max. Same way Eminem would read the dictionary. This nigga was sitting here reading books, and yeah, nah, Elon Musk is a different animal. If you look at his shit that he created, because there's only one company he has that he bought that he didn't create, and that's X. There's a plethora of other things. Elon Musk was the first person to put, if y'all remember, if you're old enough to remember yellow books, they were like phone books that you would get in the mail. He was the first, yeah, yellow pages. He created the website where that you could go online and find all this shit on yellow pages, and there were maps and shit on it. And he sold the website in like the late 90s, I believe it was. It was like late 90s. And then he went on to create PayPal.
What do you make? MapQuest.
It might be. I'm not sure what the name of it was. Elon Musk.
I should have knew that when you said PayPal.
Elon Musk yellow pages thing. I don't know about MapQuest.
No, I'm just seeing.
Zip2, I think it was.
Yeah, found it zip too. Yeah, searchable business directory that included maps. Yeah, I was just using MapQuest as a pretty much like a placeholder.
Hell yeah. So was MapQuest like a yellow page website type thing?
Um, Not so much like Yellow Page. It was like before we had GPS.
Mm-hmm.
You could get on MapQuest and you put your address in, then you put the address in that you want to go to, and it gives you literally turn by turn directions, and you just print them out and take them with you. Then it'll tell you like, at this stop sign turn here, at this when you get to this road turn here, and it'll give you the breakdown of how many miles in between each turn, and like So it was the easiest way of actually getting directions
Right.
at one point in time. Like I remember having to print out 5, 6 pages for my dad whenever he'd like take trips to like Niagara Falls or whatever for work.
Damn.
And you have to print out like stacks of pages. And bro, if you get lost, you just have to drive around till you find one of the roads that's on your page and start back over from that point.
Damn.
Because there was no that, or you'd have to go to the gas station and buy an atlas. You know what I mean? And pull
What's
that
an
fucking out
atlas?
and fucking actually.
Is,
You don't know what an atlas is?
is that like a compass type thing?
No, it's like a map of all of the roads, like in that area. Like you could buy like a Pennsylvania atlas or like
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's just a big paper map of all the roads and where they all connect, and you just gotta like, bro, find where you're
God
like,
damn, bro.
you gotta take this road down here and up to here. And
Damn. Damn.
I
So.
remember them days, bro. No GPS. I remember when TomTom first come out. TomTom was a GPS, but it wasn't like GPS on your phone. It was an actual thing you had to have in your dash.
Yeah.
You had to go to the store and buy a memory card every so often. They'd put out new memory cards, and you'd have to buy them because it would have to update the roads. Like, let's say there was road construction, they put in a new highway. If you had the old version of TomTom, it'll just tell you the road ends because it's not updated with the newer maps of.
How much did the cards like run for at that time?
Like $80 each time you.
Damn. What the fuck? 80 fucking bucks.
Oh, bro, the Jeep that back in the day, that was the big thing. What people would do is they'd go to the beaches, they'd go on vacation, they'd go to the beach whenever it's vacation season, break into cars and steal all the GPSs, and then just go sell the GPSs. Because bro, GPS was like $500, so if you got one, you could sell it for $253 real quick. Like that's whenever.
Damn.
GPSs were such a height in technology; they were so expensive at one point in time.
Yeah, I mean supply and demand. I believe it. And
So that's what people was doing for the longest time.
Because it's either do that or hold. It's either you do that or you're holding papers and shit. And I feel like for like
it became real easy for businesses to write those off in their taxes.
Yeah, true.
For their workers that travel, you know.
Fuck yeah.
We got 30 vans out there that are all fleet vehicles, getting 30 GPSs, putting them in. Write it off. Now you got a bunch of GPSs.
God damn, bro.
Nowadays it's right on your phone.
Yeah.
I think is insane. It's like such a new. I mean, not really new anymore, but to me it blows my mind because I really did like. I remember living that shit. I remember being in the passenger seat with the map, like, all right, here comes Hollow Road, make the right. If you don't, well, fuck, now I don't know where we're going because we missed it. Turn around.
I mean,
I
feel like that would still like have good ass memories though. Like I mean, unless you're by yourself.
Bro, that was the end. Like nowadays, if you give your phone enough time to download the map, like if you have enough service, you'll download the map and you can be in the middle of nowhere, no service at all, and your map will still work because it pre-downloaded the route.
Right.
Bro, GPSs, it wasn't like that. You be going, that son of a bitch just go blank. You're just like, huh? I ain't doing nothing. That's what's happening.
Bro. Talk about, you said heights in technology. That's insane. I didn't realize that people printed them out and would hold them and shit like that.
Bro, I remember when fax machines was a real thing.
What I mean, I know what it is, but what even is a fax machine?
So like you have this, like it looks like a printer, but it's got a
yeah.
on it, and you can actually use it to call because it has to be
for real.
Yeah, because it got to be set up to a landline, and it'll have its own number.
What the fuck?
And what you'll do is you'll put a paper in, and depends on what model you have. Like one, you could put the number in beforehand. One, you put the number in afterhand. You put a paper in with the information that you want on it, or picture, or whatever. You type the number in, you hit send, and it'll scan it and send it to that other number. And then the
Wait, what? You'll put a paper in it. It will scan the paper, and
then whatever fax machine you sent that to will print it out.
So it's kind of like transmitting data through a number because the number is set up to two different like printers, pretty much.
Yeah, so like I'd have a phone number and you'd have a phone number. I could like, so let's say I got this contract. Like, all right, I'm gonna fax you this contract over. Put the contract in the thing. I put your number in. I hit send. It scans the contract and then it sends it over to yours. Your shit will ring a couple times and then the fax will realize it's a fax coming through and it'll start printing it out.
That's fucking.
But like,
That's kind of like low key advanced as fuck.
But it was very minimalistic. Like you couldn't send pictures. You couldn't. You know what I mean? It was like very much.
Okay, you can't send.
What you could print black and white. You know what I mean? You're not like faxing over.
Is there a limit on how much you can fax at a time?
Just page by page. You mean I can fax you whatever?
And you're telling me that you can call the fax too?
Yeah.
Like.
To a landline.
That's crazy.
But it's its own landline. You know what I mean? You'd have
See,
your own fax number.
I didn't know none of this shit about a fax machine. I just knew that it kind of like printed shit. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. That was my question, but now I get it.
Like let's say you're working with a lawyer in Pittsburgh. It was a lot easier for a lawyer in Uniontown to fax over a document to a lawyer in Pittsburgh than it is to send it in the mail and wait 2-3 days.
Right, facts.
Yeah.
Because at that time you don't have email. There was no email, right? Like.
Well, they had email, but certain things is like certain documents you can't really do with email and print out because then it can be voided or
Right.
altered or you know what I mean. There
Yeah.
were a lot of things about that, so they were like faxing is one thing because there's a trail to it.
Were they expensive as fuck whenever they were getting good?
I was too young to really know too much on pricing as far as I could tell you that like I've seen some that were like $250, but at that time, could I say $250 was a lot for something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. I mean, 250. A printer back then may have been like 100. Maybe not even that.
I'm about to say that's like 3D printers today. 3D printers are very much becoming household items, and
3D.
Yeah, it's the more things get normalized, the cheaper they get. You know.
like, bro, you can find a 3D printer for $60 right now.
For real?
I swear to God.
Shit, I need a 3D printer then. What the fuck?
I'm about to say they're about the same price range you can find in a regular PC. So go with the price how you want your shit to be. But
Yeah, it all comes.
Have you ever used a 3D printer? Like, do you know how that
I
actually?
have a 3D printer. I've used PVC way, PCB way. Those
Hey,
they
baby.
basically print shit for you. I use that shit. I use different websites that'll do the actual printing for you because I didn't know that they were so accessible at the time.
So my question is, whenever you're 3D printing, what template do you send to it? Like, do you have to have a certain
CAD.
a CAD?
Yeah, you make a CAD, and it's a file that's like it's a 3D file, and it tells it where, and you can add these to your CAD file. It'll tell you like where to put the
Yeah, centering and leveling.
well not just that the supports like
Mhm.
whatever you're printing isn't going to be able to like support itself like once
Yeah.
it goes so much it's still going to be so hot it can just like droop over.
Right.
So like you can put where you're gonna put your supports for it, how many layers you're gonna put with what, and it'll just the machine like knows that it's a 3D image.
Now I know I know a little bit about it. I don't know a lot about it because whenever I was at the George Romero film program, there's another program there, the Savini program, which is a really big special effects program, and they have like their own
Yeah,
like
I know a bunch of people that went to.
yeah, it's a great program. That they got like their own lab and shit, and like room where everybody's in there like creating these like they're like turning around figures that are like 3D figures on the computer and shit, and then they go out and they create the shit.
Yeah.
And I'd love to, I mean, mess with one for the purpose of making props. Does it color it or like?
Newer
Okay,
printers,
well,
yes, do have multi-filament coloring where you can print different colors on the
Yeah.
same print.
but really to keep it real, like, cause I've watched so many. I watch people build like life-size statues of like Dragon Ball Z people,
Me personally,
Pokemon.
I made
shit like that.
Damn.
Like I watch people like
That's probably
like
thousands.
they'll spend days and days just printing like Vegeta's torso,
Yeah.
and then,
But
like,
it's
the
still
next couple days will be his upper body, and then they'll
is the quality of it like damn, like that looks accurate? Or
Amazing. As long as you have the right machine and you have all of your adjustments dialed in. You know what I mean?
I'm about to
Everything's gonna
say, with
take
a
like
lot of
learning
prints today,
curves.
you're most likely going to see, especially in just regular household prints, you're going to mostly see those printing lines where the filament
I
was
was gonna
actually
say
layered
that's what
up.
I'm gonna show you here in a second.
I'm about to say,
To
a lot of
have
people usually
bet.
sand those
around
down
here.
until it's smooth, but you can leave it the way it is. Some printers have an actual software program embedded in them where they're supposed to lower the levels depending on the angle of the curve. It'll basically soften it out a little bit more.
See how you can see the lines?
Yeah.
And then like if you look at the back, see how you can see it all? This was 3D printed.
That's fire.
And then they just put it all together.
This
Like see how you can see all the angled lines on it?
sticks the letters to it?
Yeah. Well it's
like
if you look there, it's not stuck. Look
If you're
underneath.
looking
It's
for
the
like
same
a
thing. They just put
multicolored
red
type of
filament
machine,
over it.
okay, so
So it's
is
like
is it
built in as the face, and once it's done, and then they went over it with red filament.
okay, so whenever you go over it with filament, is it the same concept as a printer like you're changing a cartridge? Like okay, now I need to use red and now I need to use this.
But multi-filament machines will have multiple heads on it, so it'll just
Oh
white,
shit.
and it'll come back, turn the head to the red nozzle, and then do that. But the thing is, what I've seen with like that, like how you can see the horizontal lines on it, that's why once it's done, in my eyes, it doesn't matter what color filament you're doing it in. You're better off sanding it down, priming it, and painting it regardless.
Okay.
If you care about the color of it, because it doesn't look as clean whenever you're looking at a character and you can see the
Like all the little
cross
sketches on it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every line
unless
that
that's
it
the style you're
printed.
going for, of course, then that's a different story.
Right. I wonder if you can make any clothing or anything like any fucking
Before, people have been making a lot of things with 3D printing. I don't know if you've seen recently, they've made a whole 3D printer where they've made artificial meat. So,
yeah, actually
real good human protein.
like what the fuck is going on? Welcome to this fucking welcome to this year.
For sure.
Yeah, like see, look at these. These are 3D. That's 3D printed.
Now, in terms of 3D printing, if you're looking on making like a full outfit, your best bet is probably going with some older shit like chainmail, because that's the most rigid technology that we have that can go over the human torso.
Yeah, like see, this is the dude that I was telling you about. This is the dude that I be watching a lot of.
He 3D printed that?
That's 3D printed.
No fucking way.
These are 3D printed.
No fucking way.
Look, see, that's why I said it don't matter what color you want it, because you need to sand it.
Damn.
Sanded and primed, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Bro, like you could create something nice to just keep at your house. Like
I'm about to say that's what I intend on using the printer for whenever I get one, nigga. I have shit that I just be
But
making.
see how it's pieced together. See how like they'll print this much of it.
okay.
This part of the tongue, they'll print this part, and then they'll piece it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, you only have as much space as the base allows.
Yeah.
So like what size machine do you think he would need to make like that black statue you just had? Cuz
They're just all pieced together. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
everything's gigantic. But see,
I'm loving this shit. This is fire.
you can see where right here the neck.
Yeah, it's like its own separate.
One piece,
Yeah.
arms are one piece. You know what I mean?
Something that big is fucking pricey.
Oh yeah, like bro,
Oh
that's
my
sells.
God.
Like I'd like to make a couch.
That
If
stuff
you
is gigantic.
if you can make something that fucking big, I want to make couches and like fancy chairs.
They have entire 3D printers
Like yeah,
dedicated
see,
for
look,
like
this is
shit
him
like that
piecing.
too.
Need it. Damn.
Yeah, bro, that's just the leg, my boy.
God damn, that's amazing.
And then you think about how many spools of filament this nigga went through. It's like,
This is going to be such a beautiful art form as it grows and grows, like, and people.
I love the fact that we have 3D printing now in this day and age.
Yeah,
Seeing them boom.
It's like,
that's awesome.
me as a kid, I used to always fuck with Spider-Man and shit like that.
Me too. Facts.
Be like an entertainer.
Facts. On God, we're still going to do it.
I would have so many fucking prototypes just made out of cardboard and shit like that. This is why I
Fuck yeah,
Had
bro.
springs at a single point. I used the nozzle from one of these air fresheners, and they'll fucking spray out some fucking pressure and shit like that if I put enough in there. It was decent, but it wasn't as sturdy as I wanted it to. But nowadays, I still look back at that, and I have certain things that I make now. Like I just got to saying, I make a little bit of household items that I know I'm going to use. So, for
Mhm.
example, I have this little shelf elevator thing on my desk that I made out of cardboard and shit
Really?
like that.
Wait. It show like what does it do?
So, like, it gives me more space on my actual desk. I just have little drawers in each side, and then it's a little open spot in the middle where I put my MacBook and shit like that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just a simple desk elevator. It's another level for my desk. So I just made that, and then I was like, I want to get something. I want to get something like some wood or something and cut that down and do all this, and that. And then I just got to thinking, why would I cut all this knowing I don't have too much ventilation when I can just get the printer, the
And make it
isolator for the
extra.
printer.
Yeah.
All that needs is a solid temperature. As long as that's a steady temperature, we're straight.
What needs a steady temperature?
The filament, the filament, because if your room's like cold as hell, you're printing out filament and it's too far away from the actual base at this point in the print. That's how you get that floating, stringy looking, wiry bits between each part, each gap of your actual print.
Okay. So do you have to allow moments to pause, or do you just have to cool the machine?
Well,
I'm not
that's
quite
where
sure.
dialing in comes in, because that's where you can change your head temperature, you can change your flow rate. Like, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like, if
there
it's
are
far
certain
enough away,
nozzles.
yeah, if it's far enough away, you just change the flow rate to a little bit slower and change the temperature a little bit higher. You know what I mean? There's just different compensating things.
Okay. So you can change the speed that it does it,
Yeah, you
and
can change flow rate, you can change temperature, you can change all kinds of things like that.
whenever. Okay, this is my last question about it because I know I asked like 48 questions. Whenever you fucking, whenever you do it, are you comfortable just leaving the machine to do its own thing, or
Oh
do you?
yeah, that's all you
People,
can do,
Yeah.
bro.
bro,
Okay.
listen, there's whole groups, and I'm in a couple of them because I love watching it.
Mhm.
Um, they're just like 3D printing fails, where like someone's like, "Yeah, bro, I left it alone. It was supposed to be a 72-hour print. Halfway through, my cat must have bumped the base and it moved a little to the side. Now this
Yeah,
whole thing
now
is
this
just
whole thing is
Right.
cauterized and
fucked.
destroyed, or like
Yeah.
it's just a big mess of just melted filament on a pad."
Right.
And it's so you do kind of have to leave it alone and let it just print.
Right, but
Super important.
manage it
But
still.
yeah, you also got to make sure, like, before I leave it alone,
Make sure nothing's gonna bump into
yeah,
that
you
shit.
better bat me
So,
in that room.
you believe that if nothing bumps into it and the environment's good, that it will usually successfully create it.
It will always.
That's
Always.
As long as it doesn't get bumped and your settings are correct.
Shit.
As long as your settings are correct,
the
it will
longest part of
always be
3D
fine.
printing is configuring it how you need it to be configured to your room, to the temperature in your
Yes.
room. If it's in a garage or in a shed or in a dedicated 3D printing studio where you make shit, you know what I'm saying?
That's also considering that you're a normal human being that knows what they're doing enough to, every couple prints you run the clean cycle. You know what I mean? Do the maintenance and the due diligence to keep it in good working order.
Mhm.
But if you're just out here like a fucking madman on crack, just fucking print, no, eventually it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter
It's
if you
going
print the same exact thing a million times.
right.
At some
It's
point
going to get burnt
mess
out.
up. You
Yeah.
didn't clean it. You didn't give it a break. You know what I mean?
Bro, now y'all got me definitely wanting to watch some 3D print shit. I've never ever watched anything about
I
it.
just know for the things I would want to do with it, I'd have to have a big enough one that costs too much for me to do. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I could go buy $150 3D printer and fool around and make things, but the things that I could make with it
Right.
are irrelevant to me.
Yeah.
I don't want to make little,
Like forks and shit.
yeah, and like those slinky snakes,
Right.
slinky dragon snakes that you buy at festivals and stuff. Like, I don't care about these things.
Right.
I don't need a wallet holder. Or
Yeah.
whatever. You know, I want to build statues, and for me to build a statue, I need a big boy, and that's gonna cost me like 5 racks, and that's not in my price range.
Right.
I'm
Nah,
just
but
not gonna get one.
we're going to manifest right now in 2026. We're going to definitely dive into some 3D printing ventures.
Oh, I know.
And yeah, it's manifesting, and
I'm about to say,
yeah.
I'll start building the craziest stuff, bro.
I believe it. I believe a bunch of shit in here would be fucking like the like.
You know what the
There's
first
so
thing I'd
much
do? I
shit that
would
you can
build.
save money on, bro.
Facts
Everything
that
plastic in this bitch you can remake.
I'd
Anything
3D print.
plastic.
I'd
for
3D
real.
print an entire stage.
This whole stand you can remake, bro.
Yeah, but I'd 3D print an entire stage.
A stage?
Bro,
It's possible.
just a Lego style stage where you design a
What?
field
Yeah.
and then just boom 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 bring all like it'll be like 2 truckloads worth of like blocks. Then you just bring them in, clink them together, and you got a portable
That's
stage.
brilliant. Yeah.
I mean,
And then
or
you
at
don't have
least,
to worry about
or at the very
manufacturing
least,
fees.
you could use it to build a bracing for a stage and then cement.
I'm about to say you
You
can make
could
the
do all
bracing.
kinds of stuff with that.
I've seen people. I think it may have been you. It could have been you who showed me it, or somebody.
Where they 3D print the house
Yeah.
with cement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit is fucking crazy. It's like the
I told people that's the only construction job that AI really can take like right now because it's so worth it if you have the money to buy it
right.
instantly.
Get ready for 2026, y'all, because look at where we're at. Like he said, we can 3D print lab meat or like fake meat. We can 3D print a house. We can 3D print furniture. AI is doing its thing. This is happening. That's happening. Let's just hope that this all leads in a unity direction and not a fucking
Bro, imagine
global
you buy one of them
catastrophe.
machines, all right, and you go buy a bunch of property. You could pop out, and I don't know how fast those machines work, but we're gonna say hypothetically, if it works the way it looks,
Mm-hmm.
we'll give it a day for setup. We'll give it, being fair, and this is probably way too much time. We'll give it a day for setup, 5 days for the printing, day for cleanup, day for teardown. So that gives you 8 days. Now that's just the basis of the house. That's not windows,
Right.
electrical, blah blah blah. But you can pump out a house every 8 days.
Facts. Facts.
And it'll
And
take
you're not paying a bunch of men at the same time during those 8 days.
paying two.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. It burnt
You're
out
paying
on me.
2 or 3 people.
I'll cash app you as soon as it's over for one.
Now you're gonna pay more for the following crews that come in and do your framing, for the drywall.
I'm sorry.
You know,
I'm listening to you. Yeah, like
they'll pay for the
to
framing.
clean up the mortar and
They'll
everything
pay
else.
for the electrical. You know, the people that come in and do the electrical work. Because I'm talking about an investor. I'm not talking about a
Right.
construction guy.
Yeah.
I'm talking about some guy that just decides he wants to do construction because he has the money to do it.
Right.
Bro, you pop out a house every 8 days. It only takes around 8 days for people to come in. As long as you have a good crew,
Yeah.
put windows in, do electrical, run plumbing. As long as they're all working in unison, you can have a house fully done every 8 days. 8 to 10. We'll give it 8 to 10 days. 8 to 10 days, you can have a house done, fully ready to be moved in, aside from the driveway and shit.
I'm about to say I definitely want to do my research on how long.
That's like
Because I know
You
that's
pop
that inspires the fuck out of me,
and
cause
those are highly resistant to weather because it's cement.
right.
It's very good with
Even fucking hurricanes, it's good for.
selling what? 150, 200 pound.
And then you look at the inside of it, like let's say you 3D print the most like art, like depending on the area you're in. Let's say you're in like a nice California area, you 3D print some nice ass furniture in that bitch.
I'll make a 5-bedroom, 1-level house.
real shit though.
You know what
Facts,
I mean?
yeah,
1 level, I don't give a shit. California's
yeah, facts. California, you're making half a mil,
yeah, 5
easy.
bedrooms,
Oh wait, 5 bedrooms, you're making a milli.
That's what I mean. Like 5 bedrooms, 1 level, big living room, all the bedrooms over here.
Right.
Oh, bro, I'll pop one
And,
every.
and you don't gotta worry about whenever fires and storms hit about your house burning down either.
One every 10 days.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey.
You have the money, boy. I'm putting a complex in everywhere.
Facts.
What the fuck? Whole apartment, whole APT. But
No, I ain't doing no apartments. They're all single level. Everything
Facts.
is single level the whole way, garage and all.
Yeah.
2-car garage.
I'm not managing it either. I'm just selling them.
Yeah, this is purely like build and sell. Boom.
Right.
Here's a development.
Yeah.
As soon as all the spots are filled, y'all moving in.
Bro, like
I really don't think
Because that's how you gotta market it. You market the development. You don't market it house by house. You market the development. You go, all right, we got this development. we're going to be able to fit 30 houses in here. Once we get 30 people guaranteed want these houses, boom, it's going up. You don't want to just build it and wait, because that's how you get stuck with the market. Them being like, well, we know you want 500,000, but
Right.
the way the market is, blah blah. Hell no. Develop. You push the development as a whole. That way, once everyone's locked in, everyone gets the same price. Everyone's happy with the same price. I'm happy they all paid the same price, and all y'all's property values get to stay the same.
Right, facts. And like you're low key, like I bet you to manage those machines for those 8 days, it's only gonna run you about. I don't know how much the material would be to print it, but I'd probably assume after the cost machine would be $60K a house to make, and then you sell them for like at least quadruple to like 10 times.
Like 2 developments, 3 developments, the machine is paid off completely, and you've made profit.
Right.
That's crazy. On top of that, now we're talking about the company that you created. Once you get so much of that done, you're probably got so much revenue, in a sense, that you can try to like go public trading on stocks of your company.
Right.
The way if you market it.
Facts. And if people invest in you,
and then you know what I mean, like,
bro,
it just further
this has to manifest. It has to manifest. That's insane. The future.
investors would dive straight in if we're the first company that's 3D printing full developments, cost effective for the home buyer.
That's like some Tesla shit, low key.
Public housing included.
Like Elon Musk just said that that the only way everybody can be, I don't know if he said only, but like the fastest way for everybody to be wealthy is with AI and something else. Like I believe like shit like that, but I don't believe everybody will be wealthy. I just think like this is gonna shift it's gonna shift the like the weighing of value so much on everything, everywhere.
It gives people that didn't have opportunities.
It's kind of freedom, like low key.
Yeah, because there are people that like myself, in a sense. Drawing, like if I was to sit down and try to draw something, bro, terrible. Not an artist at all when it comes to like
Same.
putting things, you know what I mean? Nope. But I can come up with these crazy ideas for stuff and everything. So like someone like me, if I was like about to make a clothing brand, that helps a lot, because while I can't draw what I would want my design to be, I can tell AI what I think I want my design to be, and then it comes up.
Honestly, I don't really think that we should really be tripping about AI, at least right now, just because AI is still learning how to fool the human eye. It doesn't know how to do that yet. I can still spot any AI, most AI videos.
Right. But have you seen Sora AI though? Like
Sora, that's what I'm talking
Sora
about.
is crazy.
Certain things that, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? This person wouldn't do that.
I
This
can
person
only
wouldn't do
tell
that neither.
the difference with Sora with the blending.
Yeah.
The
I
way they blend human skin and stuff sometimes is just like you can tell.
and I appreciate the fact that they usually put Sora on this shit.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, but I'm about to hop on this Zoom. I'm going to end this week's episode of The World We Know. I'm Greg Lamont, your host. Appreciate y'all tuning in this week. I'll catch y'all next week.